Hello everybody and welcome to your Letterbox Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we will be discussing the second book in the standalone Never After series by Emily McIntire, whatever. Scarred. It's triggered. Scarred. The Lion King retelling. Not quite retelling, but taking the likeness of the themes of inspiration. Yeah, for sure.
Inspired by, if
I
you will.
love The Lion King though. Anyway. Before we even begin with the blurb, as per usual, Emily is a responsible author and has provided a list of triggers, content warnings for this book. So if you are uncomfortable with any of these, feel free to click away. But if you're continuing, I assume you would have read the book and it wouldn't bother you anyway. Scarred content warning. Graphic sexual scenes. What was that?
Sorry, someone walked over my grave.
Graphic violence / gore, torture, murder, physical assault, sexual assault, extreme physical bullying, child abuse.
Yeah, I said as well when you read this out to me a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, like that's just covering your bases. Like,
yeah.
Which is good. Like I didn't think anything was like triggering in it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just responsible, and especially on the Kindles, because I suppose they can just add pages, and update it as they go perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. But I know in the physical books, obviously, I think you're going in completely blind. But for Kindle, at least, it's very good and responsible. You can just click a link and it goes to a website. Easy peasy.
All right.
Blurb.
I will blurb us up. Okay. She doesn't belong to him. She belongs to the crown. Prince Tristan Faasa was never destined for the throne. That was always his brother Michael. The same brother responsible for both Tristan's tormented childhood and the scar that mars his face. When their father dies, Michael is set to assume the throne and Tristan is set to steal it. The leader of a secret rebellion, Tristan will stop at nothing to end his brother's reign. But when Michael's new betrothed, Lady Sara Beatreaux, arrives, Tristan finds himself in the middle of a new kind of war, the kind that begs the question of what's more important, the crown or the woman about to wear it. Sara has one plan: marry the king and eradicate the Faasa line, even at the risk of her own peril. But she never expects the scarred prince. He's dangerous, forbidden, and one of the men she's been sent to kill. But the line between hatred and passion has never seemed so thin, and as secrets come to light, Sara grows unsure of whom she can trust, torn between vengeance and the villain she was never supposed to love.
Love that. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Kenzie.
I loved this book.
Yes. Also, sorry, talking a little bit quiet just because Kenzie's son is having a nappity nap.
Yes, it's his nap time.
I just got a text from Specsavers. Hang on.
Have you ever been to Specsavers?
No, it says Michael confirming your eye test appointment tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm not Michael.
Just say no so that when he goes in.
Just cancel his appointment. No, but that was just the most... Alright, sorry. I thought it was a funny moment. It just happened. Sorry to interrupt you, Kenzie. Go on.
Yeah, I loved this book. I think it had all the things that I love in a book. It had spice, it had romance, it had adventure and swords.
Betrayal.
It
had swords.
It had tattoos.
Morally evil tattooed men.
Great men. It had a bit of a mystery. It had a bastard child.
You're just naming every single book element that you know. It happened at night time.
It had twists and turns. I called a couple of things.
Misdirection.
Yeah, there was only one thing at the very end that I was like, oh.
Should have known that from the
Should have
beginning.
known that.
What was it?
Who Simba is. Yes.
Simon?
Yeah.
How did you not get it from the get-go? To be fair, I had a dumb moment as well. I thought... I don't know, I had a moment where I forgot it was like just the Lion King, and we know how, Scar is against Mufasa, blah, blah, blah. In this book, when they were talking about like the rebel king has like sent a message by beheading somebody, I'm like, I thought this was going to be a moment where the rebel king was a third party.
Oh,
so like Tristan and Michael have to come together to defeat them, but no, it was Tristan.
Yeah, I knew. I was like,
idiot.
oh yeah, so the rebel king is Tristan.
Yeah, no.
And I LOL'd, laughed out loud when I found out that the last name was Faasa, because Michael Faasa, M Faasa. I was like,
Yeah. Mufasa.
Yeah, so that's all.
Loved it. Alright, cool. Yeah, my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I really liked the high society setting, bourgeoisie-esque.
Ooh.
Yes, we love a big word every now and then. The language and the dialogue, how they talk, again, very high society, sophisticated language. Yeah, sometimes I forget that the point of this book is that it is a dark romance, and I just, at times, really grossed out and pissed off by Tristan's behaviour, but, that's the point.
Yeah.
He is a very selfish person and possessive and crazy. And yeah, I just love The Lion King in general, so I really did enjoy this book.
Yeah.
Again, enjoyed the twists and turns, although I did not enjoy the fact that, like Hooked, it had that recycled plot of, you killed my father, so I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
But then now you killed my father, so I'm going to kill you. And I don't know, maybe because I read this just after Hooked, and that was something that we'd discussed. And so, I'm just a little bit over it at that point. Reading it back to back, I'm like, it seems like it's not hitting as hard to me.
Yeah.
But I still really did enjoy the book. I liked trying to pick out the character references to who they were in The Lion King. And yeah, it was great. But I also love, on the internet in general, you know how there's discourses, I think back in the Tumblr days primarily, but they would have threads of why villains were justified in their actions, or they weren't that bad all along.
Yeah.
Amongst that, there would be conversation about how everyone had a headcanon that Mufasa was always a bully to Scar.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of obviously what inspired this book. And
I
could see it, but I really liked that it was kind of Mufasa v Scar, and Mufasa was more Michael, was more of a dickhead.
I did like as well, I mean, this is just going to be a spoiler, but
just go for it.
I think we've done the other, Beauty and the Beast retelling, where you're like, oh, okay, I can see, where it's inspired, ACOTAR. Yeah, it's I can see where it's inspired.
Now that I think about it, it's the inspiration's there. Now I don't feel like it's as hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like
and so I was going to say, I like it when it's a retelling, but also, as you're reading it, you forget that you're meant to be, thinking about this or whatever. But I did like, at the end, with the cliff.
And the fire.
And the fire, And I was like, I see what you did there.
Just the imagery. Yeah, it translated well.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I suppose we shall kick on into the bit of the plot. Unless you want to talk about characters first. I don't care
that's
how we
fine.
do it.
Sorry, I'm yawning a lot.
You need a nap.
Because I just had the little lie down with James.
Fair enough. So we kick off with the prologue.
Yes.
And so Tristan and Michael's father, Michael Faasa the First, has just died. Mufasa has just died, and Michael has been crowned king. Funny enough that this episode will be out probably a week or so after the king's coronation, so we're inadvertently timing everything quite well, I feel like. So their father just died. Michael's crowned king. They're in the process of grieving him and trying to figure out the crown. Tristan has been established to the outsider brother, because he's
the rebel.
He is the spare heir, if you will. And he's the rebel brother, tattoos. Very dangerous, and
he has a scar on his face.
Of course. It wouldn't be a Lion King without the scar.
Yeah.
I think their advisor is explaining to Michael that he needs to find a queen.
Yes.
So this is all about establishing a royal line, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's the prologue, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's dual point of view.
Yes.
So we have Tristan's point of view and we have Sarah's point of view. It took me a minute to realise who the Sarah character was meant to be based off of, because it's the chick from the second Lion King movie.
Yeah.
Zira, I think.
Yeah.
And
who's a minor character in the movie. But
pretty much. Well, one of the main villains, but
yeah.
In the second movie. But it took me a whole ass minute to realise who she was.
Yeah.
I felt like an idiot.
That's okay. So Sarah has been sent forth, put on a platter to be married to the king. I was confused about how this came about, but then it's the advisor is her cousin.
Yeah.
And she's been living with her uncle. So they've have a secret plot themselves to overrun the kingdom. So that's how they're okay, well, we've found this suitable lady for you.
Yeah, she is of nobility, so she would be able to.
Oh, I did find it a bit the juxtaposition of the candles and the swords and stuff, but then they have automobiles. I was what century are we in?
I think this was meant to be 1910s-esque vibe.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a mesh between the two. But it's
because I kept imagining Vow of Thieves, Dance of Thieves, world-esque.
Medieval type.
Yeah.
I get that. But yeah, no, Sara, her main motivation is that she wants to eradicate the whole Faasa line, because apparently her father
They killed her daddy.
allegedly killed her dad, who is a nobleman. I think they live out in the Shadowlands,
Yeah.
which is a very much squalor type, very impoverished area. And I think her father wanted assistance from...
Yeah, he went to ask for help.
And they said no, and then the story is that they killed him because of that.
Yeah.
But of course we know the truth later on. So she is going into this with mind. Her intent is to marry Michael and then start assassinating everybody. Which is fair. Like, I'm all for women's violence.
Yes.
I'm all for the empowerment of women.
Yes.
So yeah, that's her motivation. And yeah, most of the book is just around her and Michael kind of getting to know each other, hosting events together and all that type of stuff.
Officially proposing.
Yeah, proposing, getting engaged,
which he
etc.
doesn't even get down on one knee.
No. Yeah, and yeah, I just love this turnaround that Michael is like just this abrasive asshole. And he's like not good with, I guess, women, or he's not taking this kind of role seriously. He's not seriously looking for a wife or a queen.
Yeah.
He just, I don't know, he seems so blasé about it. Which, I mean, in his right, he's just crowned king. His father has just died.
Yeah.
Like, give him a chance to settle in his new role. Yeah.
But the job of the king is to provide heirs so that the line never dies.
Yes, for sure. But, of course, amongst this marriage arrangement, Tristan has to sink his little paws in.
Well, like...
He finds her intriguing.
Yeah, he's enthralled.
Enthralled, yes. Love that word.
I don't think he actively sought her out.
No, it was kind of like a glance across the room and it's like,
Yeah.
You're interesting.
Yeah, you are pretty. You are not what I expected.
She seems tough.
Yeah. And then, does he kiss her?
At some point,
At some point, yeah. Can't remember the exact...
Yeah, I don't know. They have a lot of moments where they're sneaking out together, having sneaky moments. The tension...
Yeah.
Very...
And again, like, I think it said, like, this is a slow burn. But I didn't think it was a slow burn. I thought that it was, like, appropriately timed.
Yeah. I'd say so too. Otherwise, every book with a love interest that they actually, commit to the end, otherwise every book is a slow burn.
Yeah, because they were, sure, like, sneaking around or whatever. But I think, the tension was appropriately built. And the timeline of their coming together, if you will.
Yeah, or romance.
Or romance. Yeah, it was appropriately timed.
Yeah. I see discourses on TikTok about the overuse of the term slow burn because of that. Like, this is a standalone book. If there is a romance involved, you expect it to happen and resolve in the end. That is not a slow burn. Slow burn should be in like a series where it's like book 5 they, I don't know, kiss or something.
No,
like,
that hurts.
Or is that too much?
No, I think slow burn, again, back to ACOTAR.
Even in a second book, perhaps.
I think ACOTAR slow burn was done well, like with the character being introduced in the first book, and then it's not until halfway through the second book that they get together. Yeah,
and I suppose it also depends on how much like official time has passed between as well. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Whereas House of Night, there is a new boy in every book.
Yes. A new love interest.
Or it ends with us, slow burn. Yeah.
More of like a reminiscent and then coming together. Slow burn. Now I get, I just feel like, slow burn can be overused a lot, but in a standalone book, as you said, it needs to be appropriately timed. While Kenzie is assisting her son, I'm just going to do a quick rundown of the characters in this book that we may mention or may forget to mention, who knows. So we have Uncle Raph, who is Sarah's uncle. We have Xander, who is the head advisor to Michael, who is Sarah's cousin. We also have Simon, Michael's bastard son, and Kara is her mother, but Kara is hardly ever seen. Tristan, kind of like Scar in the first book, takes a liking to Simon, gives him advice and shelters him under his wing. It's a very nice, like, uncle, like a real uncle-nephew dynamic, which is really cute. We have Sheena, she's quite important. We have Reginald, but I forget who he actually is, but he does not last long in the book anyway, so that's fine. We also have Edward, Tristan's personal guard, especially amongst the rebels. We have Timothy, who is depicted kind of like Timon, and we have Paul, reminiscent of Pumbaa, and we have Ophelia as well. She is quite important towards the end, but we will get to that soon. To really kick off the plot, there is an unofficial meeting ceremony with Michael and Sarah, And amongst that, there is drama. And this character named Reginald, I forget how important he is, but he is killed by the rebel king.
Yes.
He was beheaded. And the head was presented by a servant at the ceremony.
Yeah, by a wench. And everyone's all up in arms about it because the rebel king is slowly building his rebellion, of course. So that's the first of the many deaths that occur in this book. But ultimately, we all know Tristan is the rebel king. Did you clock it straight away, or...?
No, because I said I thought that this was a third party, being like an absolute moron. But then when Tristan was seen with the servant through Sarah's point of view, like directing her and stuff and helping her escape, like that's when I knew. Yeah. And of course, Tristan would always catch Sarah in these moments because Sarah's trying to snoop around, trying to find the best way to get Michael alone or figure out the scope of the castle and the palace and all that type of stuff. So she's really trying to assess her situation before she starts making a move, because it would be very suspicious if she stepped in and then just started murdering everybody.
The king died straight
She
away,
needs to bide her time.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of tense moments between Tristan and Sarah.
Mm-hmm. And there's tunnels under the castle, in the castle walls, etc. And there's a few tense moments in there.
I love a sneaky tunnel.
Sneaky tunnel romance.
See, that's how their relationship sort of develops. As I kind of said before, Tristan and Simon have a very good, even though it's the bastard son, like uncle-nephew dynamic.
Yeah, at first I thought that it was Tristan's son.
Really?
Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, like it's
Michael's.
Yeah. He has the claim to the throne.
And Michael hides him away because of the whole bastardness aspect to it.
Yeah.
And just in general for Tristan, he has grown up, well, he's mused that he's grown up, like pretty much bullied and outcasted in this castle just because he is the second son.
Yeah.
Second born.
And his father, it's implied that his father liked him more than Michael.
It seems they both have different perspectives of how their fathers treated the other brother compared to them. Yeah.
Which I feel like is like very true of like real life situations.
Sure,
like I feel like, a lot of siblings go through that, like, oh, but like mum like did this for you and blah blah blah, and then they'll be like, oh, but mum did this for you, like
and just add a royal setting to it where you have the legitimate heir to to you, like you want to train them up and spend not as much time with them, but you want to groom them into that role. And
in that royal sense as well, that a lot of attention does go to the spare, because it's like, well, your sibling is going to become king.
I'm training them, but I'm giving you like the normal life and the normal
because you're never going to be under like the same level of like scrutiny.
Yeah, for sure. And so they both have, Michael and Tristan have that sort of moment of hatred towards each other, because Michael thinks his father spent more like actual like fatherly intimate moments with Tristan, whereas Tristan sees their father spending time with Michael just because Michael is being groomed to be the king one day. Like it's a different sort of attention, and they both craved sort of each other's
and it's
different.
Also because you have to learn you have to act differently as well, like
for sure. And so Tristan was always kind of off on his own, doing his own thing, but in doing so he was being absolutely bullied by Michael and his friends.
Being tortured.
And tortured growing up. And he tells the story to Sarah of his scar. How did you think he got his scar?
I thought it was Michael.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was always known that Michael was going to do it, but how, like, did you think it was going to be like a hot fire poker?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something like bad.
Yeah. I mean, of course it was going to be bad, but I never expected a fire poker. Like, that's
did you
insane.
just think like a sword or something?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't going to be as gruesome, even though it wasn't.
I thought because it's like a dark romance book, etc.
Yeah, for sure.
That it was going to be.
Again, there were moments where I absolutely forgot it was a dark romance. Yeah. But that's on me. And so Tristan has a lot of scars on his body from all these types of little tortures he received as a child.
And I thought as well, that lends to why he has so many tattoos, because he's probably trying to cover a lot of the scars.
But no, I think he's just adding on, like, he's already seen as like an outcast. What's a tattoo going to do? Yeah. Like, how is it going to scrutinize his image even more? Yeah. I also thought, it seemed it was going this way, that Tristan had this sort of hit list of his bullies growing up, and he was slowly killing them off, which is kind of true, because I think it implied that Xander was a part of Michael's crew that was like torturing and harassing him. Yeah. Same with Reginald's old. there was like another person as well. And there was a lot of implications that a lot of staff and other higher ups working for Michael and around just the castle, that they've just ignored his abuse and the harassment he received. So he has a very large chip on his shoulder amongst everybody, I guess.
I think as well, like, yes, Michael is an asshole, etc. And like, you can't forgive that. But I think, like, having the expectation of, like, he's a young royal, like, he's a young guy and he's king now. And it's like he's always expected to be king and now he is king. And it's like, how do you act?
Yeah. I get that.
But also, like, you're an asshole, so fuck you.
And it's not like he ever owned up to any of the bullying and harassment either. It's like the bullies never realised that they were a bully.
Yeah. Or should we go to this protest dog cruelty march today?
Sure, why not? Let's go. We'll cut this episode short. The end. Yeah, like, bullies don't see themselves as hurting people.
Yeah.
Which I never, like, understood that. I mean, I understand, you know, just forgetting things that have happened in your life, because I don't know what happened in primary school and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I suppose having trauma inflicted on you will stay with you more than you enacting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and while the story is happening, we get a little plot line for Michael that he is going a little bit crazy because he is seeing the ghost of his father.
The ghost of his father, yes.
I found that so funny, and I loved that Tristan was utilising the madness.
Yes,
and
was
like
doing
faking
things.
it.
Yeah.
He was like pretending he's seeing his father too, and swearing to Michael, like, promise, tell no one that I'm going mad, or something like that. That was great.
Yeah. And then he was like, moving things around and stuff.
That's that's an awkward, weird brother bonding moment.
Yeah.
Even though Tristan is bullshitting, it was so good. And Tristan would also spend time at the Elephant Bones Tavern. I love that the Elephant Bones. Because that's where his rebellion is gathering, and he gives a lot of speeches there. A lot of those scenes, it's just him reassuring everybody that our time is coming, to just be prepared, be patient, be prepared. He even says it in the book, and I loved it. It's just the voice actor from Scar. Like, I could imagine it being Tristan the entire time. Like, the cadence in which he speaks, and like the little drawl he has.
Yes.
Loved it. You could just imagine it. It was great.
And I just love the imagery of, like, one person, one man or whatever, having the, like, the power and, like, the physicality to just command a whole room. I love that. Yeah, no, it was so good. It was spine tingling. And Sara, again, also being intrigued by Tristan in general. Like, she snuck out, I think, and followed him to the Elephant Tavern. And so she saw this, and I think she got caught by Tristan, or she's holding on to it. I don't know, something happens. She just knew, but he saw her.
Yeah.
He saw that she was there. Because she's, like, freaking out. Yeah. And he's like, I knew you were there. Bitch. And there is a moment where they have a chat, and it's like, we have the same goal right now, to remove Michael. Yeah. Because she's like, you killed my dad, and he's like, no, we didn't. No, I didn't.
But okay, go off.
Yeah. Go off, queen.
I love the nicknames he gave her, though.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm not, it depends how I'm feeling on the day when I'm reading. Like, sometimes I don't like the nicknames, and sometimes I do. But when he calls her Little Doe, great. Yeah.
But also, I was just like, because he's going to eat you.
Yeah. Because it's a lion analogy, eating does. But I loved how he called, I don't know how to say it, but it's My Little Liar in French. It's
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Hang on, let me get up the Google Translate.
Yeah, because, every time I saw that, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like, mi petite something.
Yeah. Mi petite montus or something like that.
Too.
And then, because it never really established what it meant, and then it would say it, and then the next 3 words would be My Little Liar, and it's like, so good. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, here we go.
Mon petit menteur.
Mon petit menteur.
Yeah.
Ooh, love it.
Can I make that a man's voice?
Put it right next to the microphone.
My little liar.
Okay, no, that's not what I want. I want a man.
A manly man.
Mon petit menteur.
But no, it's also funny because this is in a fake, like, not real world, like the Shadowlands, Saxium, but they'd be like, I've learnt French.
Yeah, okay, I
like,
can't get it. Can't do a man's
voice. Oh, you can't do it. Can't do a man's voice. Oof. Google translates discrimination. You love to see it. But yeah, I love that nickname.
Yeah.
Sara also has a character named Sheena.
Yep.
Who is her, like, handmaid, her lady.
Yeah.
I was going to say maid, but I know that wasn't the right word for it.
Handmaiden.
Her handmaiden, yeah. Her lady who it also works as her best friend / support system.
Yeah,
'cause
but always like I'm always sus on these characters
Sure,
because
yes.
it's your job to like be her friend, like
and keep an eye on her.
yeah,
But yeah, and just it turns out that she was
fucking
fucking Edward, which is Tristan's main head guard.
yeah, but like hot.
And he's also a rebel, so in turn she is forced to join the rebels.
Yeah.
But which is good because she sneaks in food or provides food from the palace to the rebels.
Yeah. And she
so
like
great.
says to Tristan, she's like, if you just told Sarah like what you're doing, like
See, why does the third party have to be like, you just should have just told her?
Yeah.
It's always the third party. And at some point, Tristan tortures Edward because of...
because he brings Sheena in to the
Oh, yeah,
skull
that's
and
right.
elephant bones
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. This is where I liked how Tristan was a bit more merciful compared to Hook, because Hook would have killed him.
He would have killed him, yeah. Tristan just tortured him.
Yeah.
And was like, I got to leave you here for like a day.
Yeah,
So.
like, I'm sorry, bud. And he's
Yeah.
like, it's fair enough. Sarah has a personal bodyguard as well.
Yes.
Timothy.
Yes. Rip.
Timon.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Who was Pumbaa then?
Paul.
Oh,
Paul the chef.
Idiot. Oh, and they were gay.
Yeah,
they were
they were-
lovers. Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bury your gays
I get
trope,
it.
not on, but okay.
True.
Yeah,
Timothy dies, right?
Timothy does
Yeah,
die
rip.
at the end in the rebellion.
For the
No,
rebellion.
he protected Sarah.
Yeah, rip.
It was great.
That's another one in clock.
Yeah, I know. He disappointed in himself.
And so Sarah, Sheena is Sarah's handmaiden from her kingdom, if you will, from the Shadowlands.
Yeah, Shadowlands. I forget what the places are called. I don't really care about the places.
Then, but then she has like two like royal court appointed ladies in wait.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's Ophelia and somebody else.
Yeah, Ophelia, sus immediately. I clocked that bitch.
I did not clock that
I clocked
at all.
that bitch. See, because they tried to do the red herring. They tried to make you think it was the other one because she was quiet and stern and like a little bit older.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, it's not you. I was like,
I think
Ophelia.
I should have
bitch.
clocked it when Ophelia was being a bit more of a bitch to Sarah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, or she was very intent on following Sarah, because being her job not to leave Sarah kind of alone or wandering about. Yeah, I should have clocked on, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I hate myself.
Well, that's okay. I didn't clock on Timon and Pumbaa.
I know. So who really is the dumbass here between the both of us?
Both in our collective shared brain.
Single brain cell between the two of us. Yeah. So yeah, so Michael and Sarah are engaged. They
Yes.
have a dinner, and there is a person named Lord Takan. I don't know.
Tarkin.
Yeah, don't know. But he was taken away too soon because he was poisoned by Sarah.
Jesus Christ. Because she's like, I need to
Establish
that I can use this poison that is going to work on Michael.
Oh, yep. Because she's also, I don't know if she was feeling like she needs to act now, or if
And I think it's just like a
Raph
practice
and
run.
Xander were like, you need to start doing this.
I think it was like a bit of both, and they needed to make sure that poison could like work or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Tristan as well clocked straight away that it was her who did it. Like,
Yep. But they think it was the Rebel King.
Mm.
So there's a lot of misdirection in terms here.
Mm.
And so there's a lot of drama with that poisoning. And I think Sarah just gets up and walks away. Because I don't know if she's shocked. I think she's kind of shocked that she actually killed somebody as well. And Michael is just losing his shit because, he's seeing dead daddy everywhere as well.
Dead daddy.
Dead daddy. And then there's this Lord Claudius who runs after
Oh
Sarah.
yeah, fat oath.
I hated the scene.
Yeah. It's very rapey.
He was trying
Yeah.
very hard. Lord Claudius tries to assault Sarah, but also Tristan went and followed her because he figured it out that she poisoned him and whatever. So he's trying to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
But then he sees Lord Claudius trying to assault Sarah, but Tristan doesn't see that she's fighting back, so he doesn't think Claudius is assaulting her. He thinks that this is like a consensual thing.
Which like gross.
But yeah, and also his mindset is really gross because he's like, he is touching what is mine, because by this point he's established that Sarah is his and he can only touch her or whatever, no one else is allowed to. So he just sees as Claudius touching something that doesn't belong to him, which is a gross mindset. But then again, he's a villain. Yeah. And so but obviously in that moment, in Sarah's point of view, she's trying to fight Claudius off. Yeah. She's kind of frozen. And with Tristan, like, he's not seeing this as like an attack on Sarah's dignity or purity or anything like that. He's just very, it's a sick mindset to have. Yeah. But anyway, so Sarah manages to fight him off. I forget how. What does she do? She doesn't stab him or anything.
I have a stitch. Oh
no.
I think Tristan like realizes that like because she gets her knife or whatever.
I think so. She does something to
Yeah, and
Claudius.
she says, like, touch me again or whatever. And I think Tristan sees that, so then...
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Tristan does follow Claudius and then tortures him and ultimately kills him. Xander was the one who also saw Claudius and Sarah, but he thinks there was no ill intent. He thinks that was
I think Tristan saw and was like...
But he also had that mentality of...
Yeah, but I don't think he was like, oh, this is a consensual thing.
Yeah,
but, like, Xander was like, you were, like...
Having a quickie.
Yeah, having a quickie. And she's like, what the fuck, Xander?
Yeah, no. Yeah, so they have that moment. Claudius is dead, which is... And I think, because as Tristan was torturing Claudius, he was, like, talking about how Claudius looked away at all the harassment and the abuse. And that's where I thought this was, like, a little hitman list he had going on, because he'd already killed another person because of that. Anyway, Tristan and Sarah end up having more secret moments together, which I love, like, just sneaking away. Or, like... Because sometimes he'd hang out with Simon and she'd just walk up and join. Yeah. And it's like, it's not a secret moment, but it is a moment between the two of them. Yeah. Anyway.
There was, like, a moment, I think, towards the end, and they were fucking in church.
Yes.
And I was like, they're going to get caught. Like, I was so scared. And then they didn't. But,
good. Tristan tells...
It's like hate fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love that. Tristan tells the story about how he got his scar.
Yes.
I also forgot to mention, he likes to paint. He's an artiste.
Artiste.
He is a tortured artist. Cole Sprouse wishes he was him.
Oh my god. Most of us get into the arts because we're just, like, really
fucked up.
Alright, go off, my Disney king.
Disney king. Anyway, so Tristan was painting an image with charcoal because that is his style of choice. Medium. Yes. Of him and his father. Just Tristan and his father. And Michael, being a bully, I think he took the painting or he wrecked it or something. I forget the intricate details. But then Tristan attacks Michael because of that. Because, like, you're defending your property.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then, Michael started, like, choking him and all that type of stuff. Or Tristan choked Michael, either way, but Michael got the fire poker and sliced him across the eye.
Yeah.
That's how he got his scar.
Yeah.
And in that vulnerable moment of storytelling, I think that's when Sarah and Tristan have sex. Essentially.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
I have a story about people destroying my property.
Okay.
Or using my property.
Go ahead.
So.
Call them out.
I will. So.
First names. Last names.
I only know his first name.
Okay.
Anyway, so I finished up work, as you know, last week. And I left my knives there. I have, like, a black knife case.
Oh, yeah, your knives.
Yeah, I have.
Have you got your knives back?
I do have my knives back.
Thank God.
Anyway, they're in a black knife case. It's got my name on it. And it's 3... very expensive, very sentimental Japanese knives. I got them when I finished my first year apprenticeship. Mm-hmm. So my first year of my apprenticeship, I got them.
That is quite a gift, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And they're very expensive. I bought one, but then the others were gifted to me. Anyway, still, even that one's very expensive. Anyway, black case. Left it at work because I was sick. I was like, oh my God. I messaged my boss and I said, can you please get them out of the kitchen and just put them at the front desk and I'll come and get them, like, when I drop James off or whatever. I'm like, they are very sentimental, they are very expensive, like,
please.
Yeah, you can't just let any willy-nilly person use them because you'll fuck them. Anyway, so I go in this week on Tuesday to drop James off and they're not at the front desk. And I'm like, where are my knives? And the new chef has started and I was like, oh, like, where are my knives? And she's like, oh, sorry, I left them in the kitchen. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, they're in the case. I was like, this is what I was thinking. I was like, that's cool. Like, they're in the case. They're up away from the other, like,
I think
knives.
the chef's using them.
I walk in.
Oh, no.
My knife. It's out of the case. On the bench.
A travesty.
He's used it.
This is so dramatic. A dramatic retelling.
Graphic audio. And I walk in, I just grabbed it and, like, I washed it and everything. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to take this. And he was, like, so confused by it. And I was like...
Has he met you?
No. Like, I didn't even...
Just random chicks just walked into the kitchen and just taken the
but there was also, like, a gift for me from someone else. So it's like, to Mac, like, from blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I'm just come to get this. Zoom in on the knife on the bench.
Just, like, your eyes twitch at the moment.
I was like, oh, and my knife. Knives. Anyway, so I washed everything. And I was like, oh, I've just come to get this. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, they're mine. I left them here. And he's like, oh, okay.
Just, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. And then he started asking me, like, all these questions about, like, the job and stuff. And I was like, have you not spoken to head office yet? And he's like, oh, no, I haven't seen them yet. And I was like, this place is a nightmare. Like, I'm like, it is not my job to, like, inform you of, like, what you're meant to be doing. Like, I'm happy to help you out, but jeez, fuck. Anyway. So he was using my knife. Pleb. Absolute pleb. And I'm just thinking, like...
Oh my God. She's popping off. I love it. I'm keeping this in.
Okay. I was talking to my other boss at my waitressing job.
Yeah.
Because she has the same knives.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, anyway. And I was telling her, and she was, like, very shocked and offended for me, like, even more so than me. Because she's like, you don't go... It's like, you don't go into another, like... Say you're an electrician, you don't go into another electrician's like toolbox and just use their tools without asking them. You know, it's like that same thing. It's like, these are our tools of our trade.
But to be fair, if your boss had put them on the counter outside, he wouldn't have assumed that he was allowed to use them. But this is my thing. I was like, so there's like, when you walk in, there's like this jar vase thing, and that's got all like the pleb knives in it. Pleb knives.
She's
she's very an elitist chef here.
No, but they are also knives that I took in, and they're not like professional knives, but like they're sharp and they're good, and I've kept them like in good nick.
You're willing to donate them to the centre.
And I'm willing to leave these, like these can be the centre knives. And then mine were in, so there's the bench. Yeah. And on the bench is like the microwave and then the pleb knives.
Yeah.
And then above that is a shelf.
Okay.
And so that's where my knives were, up in the case that's zipped up on the shelf. So like you would think you would see the pleb knives first.
Just love how you're calling them pleb knives.
Or like I feel like you see the case, and also one of my knives is pink. Okay. So it's like I feel like
he might like pink.
I don't know, but like you would ask like, oh hey, like can I use these knives?
I reckon he just assumed that anything in there he was able to use, and so therefore he thought he was able to use. I
mean, I don't care that much, but like,
I mean, given this very dramatic retelling, I think you care a lot.
I just, like I don't know. I wouldn't go into someone else's knife case, but I don't think he's a
chef. You didn't have to whisper.
No, I just don't think he's a cook. I think he's a cook, but I don't think he's had formal training.
Very elitist attitude over here. Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
I love it though.
That is all.
Yeah, speaking of touching something that's not yours,
here's the hot fire poker.
You are
touching things that aren't yours.
But in this sense, Tristan is objectifying Sarah, which is wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad you told that story.
Sorry.
I loved it. No, I loved it.
Hope you liked it.
I did like it. So yeah, they have a lot of rendezvous moments.
Yes.
They're making out, eating each other out, blowjobs, you know, the works. Uncle Raph is getting antsy and Xander's getting antsy because they have their wedding engagement ceremonies and all that type of stuff. Yeah. They got to try and start assassinating people. They're in a hurry.
Yeah, did you clock that Uncle
Raph? No, I just believed that they killed her father. And I was like, fair enough. I didn't know.
I was like, yes, us. Straight up.
I feel like he was being super persistent about it was really annoying as well. Yeah. But it's like, you got to give the girl some time.
Yeah, I was like, give the girl time. Because like if she goes in and starts killing people, like they're going to be like,
all her relatives
suddenly arrived in our kingdom that we don't really know.
Yes, and all the people that are associated to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Xander gets kidnapped by the rebels. Chop off his hand and it's delivered. Oh, gross. I mean, Sarah's freaking out.
Live with one hand. That's fine.
I mean, sure. If it was you, you'd just want to neck yourself.
Me, yeah.
We've established.
We've spoken about this.
So Sarah's quite concerned because Xander is her cousin and her like other real confidant in this world.
She's like, my friend.
And this is where like she believes that Sarah's father was killed by the rebels or something. Yeah. I don't know. I just got that note written down. But then there's this whole revelation, that Uncle Raph killed her father because he wanted her on the throne, and so he can have power and influence.
To give her like the motivation.
Yep. Which is really stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Stupendo.
And this is where I got to the part where I'm like, I really hate this father revenge killing cycle. Anyway. Does Xander die outright? I forget if he died.
I don't think he dies.
I'm just going to assume he died.
Let's say he died.
There is also an assassination attempt on Sarah, in which Timothy gets shot.
Yes.
Rip
because
Timothy.
Tristan is like, you don't touch her. Like, no one touches her. But then they're like, well, we needed to send a message. Yeah. And then, she's like, you tried to kill me.
Oh, yeah, it was the rebel. Was it the rebels that actually shot her?
Yeah, it was the rebels.
Oh, because they all think because she's marrying Michael, they got to take her down as well.
Yeah.
I love this, like, the interconflict. It's like, Tristan told the rebels not to touch Sarah.
Yeah.
And someone went out of their way to shoot her.
Yeah.
And she even, because she knew Tristan was with the rebels, she thought he was trying to kill her. And so they have that little squabble, little heartbreak moment where they can't be together because they can't trust each other.
Yeah.
But Timothy's dead. I really liked their relationship, Timothy and Sarah, because Timothy started out as this mute character, which is ironic because Timon in The Lion King just doesn't shut the fuck up. But he does end up talking to her every now and then, and like they just have a fun little relationship dynamic. It's cute. They had good banter, good vibes, and you know he served his duty well to her.
Yeah,
and she was very, very upset when he died, which is fair enough. And then she catches one night like Sheena and Paul kind of not together, but like. I don't know, talking. You wouldn't think these two would like really know each other.
Yeah, communicate with each other.
Or interact at all. So she finds that suspicious, so she follows them. And then I don't know where that leads. My notes become really skewed because I was just so into it. I was just forgetting to write notes as we went. There must be some underground tunnel work happening as well. The rebellion, I think, is starting to kick off at this point. And then, Tristan is feigning the madness for Michael, trying to get him to like trust him and everything. And then it is officially revealed that Michael killed his father in order to become king. Oh, okay. So, what happened was Tristan and Sarah had a plan the next day to kill Michael, I think. They were going to poison him.
Yes.
And I thought everything was going to go swimmingly.
Same.
But
it doesn't.
Yes.
But then fucking Ophelia
and Michael find out.
Fucking bitch.
Be nice to your servants.
She was nice.
Sort of. But ultimately Michael found out because he had a spy, Ophelia, who is also his mistress, I guess.
Yeah. She was like, I saw you fucking Tristan. I heard you fucking Tristan. I watched you fucking Tristan. Like,
you're done, bitch.
Like, of course I was going to tell His Highness.
Sweet little thing. But no, it turns out Michael and Ophelia were fucking.
Yeah.
And so Michael ruined that entire plan. He, I think, imprisoned Sarah.
Yeah, because like she thinks because she's like pretending that like tonight's the night that they're gonna fuck.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's have a glass of
wine
or whatever, and she puts poison in one, and then he's like, no, you drink it.
I love that old switcheroo trick.
Switcheroo, yeah.
If you're not sure, just make them try and drink it. But and then Michael also sent people to kidnap or imprison Tristan. Alrighty, I forget. Yeah, the sequence of events. I don't know if Tristan was imprisoned or someone released him. Yeah. But anyway.
He was imprisoned and then Sarah came and broke him out.
No, someone broke him out before Sarah because he started burning the entire place to the ground. Like the whole city and palace to the ground because he wanted Sarah to be let go.
Slay.
We love it. It's very Catching Fire. President Snow. If we burn, you burn with us vibe.
Yes.
I love it. And so, the rebellion is essentially happening. And, I think there's a sequence where Tristan does rescue her. And they're running through the tunnels. And, I don't know, things happen. I forget the intricate details of this. But there is a final standoff between Michael and Tristan on the ledge under the fiery...
Yes.
Yeah, fiery ledge, I guess. It is very reminiscent of Mufasa.
Does he say Long Live the King? Or something?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Or there must have been a speech where he said to the rebels, "Long live the king," or something like that.
Yeah.
But there is the repetitive dialogue,
that
and
motif.
Stuff. The motif, yes, of course. And so Tristan kills Michael, and it said that like the city was burning for days.
Yeah,
because he just burnt the motherfucker to the ground.
Yeah,
loved it. And in true standalone book fashion, there is an epilogue.
Yes.
7 years later.
Yes.
The city is slowly rebuilding.
Yeah, I liked 7 years, but I guess because it was so that Simon was 18.
Yeah. So Sarah and Tristan are married.
Yeah.
The king and queen.
Mm-hmm. And they had sent Tristan away to like a boarding school. Not Tristan, Simon. Yeah.
Simon away. Yeah. So he could live his life as a kid. Yeah. Oh, also forgot to mention, there were moments in the book where Simon would come to Tristan being like, I'm being bullied, what's advice, blah, blah, blah. And then Tristan would help him out.
Yeah.
And he calls him Little Tiger.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Oh, Jesus. 7 years later, I got annoyed that they pretty much deferred their leadership to Simon. It's like, you fought... You concocted
I guess
a rebellion.
I'd be more angry if it was like 3 years later. Like they had 7
I
years.
know, but like the
I was
city
angry
was
that they didn't have kids.
Yeah. Maybe because they knew they wanted Simon. Yeah. But I was just annoyed that because, the city was rebuilding. And it's like...
Yeah, and it's like your people, like you fought, like these people rose up and supported you.
Yeah.
In your, like,
in your
conquest.
Name. Yeah, in your royal honour.
And now you're just like, okay, here's the true king.
Here's the bastard son of Michael who we killed.
Yeah.
I suppose, in a way, they kind of adopted him.
Yeah.
And I think Paul's still alive. Sheena and Edward are probably still alive. Fucking doing their
it
thing.
said that they were expecting another child or something.
Probably.
Yeah. Their second child.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
But and then the end. Yeah, my last line was, what the fuck was the point?
I liked it and I didn't like the ending. But yeah.
I mean, in Lion King fashion, Simba becomes king, so it had to happen.
Yeah. Have we done reviews?
Oh, we haven't done the reviews yet. I think I have a name for the little segment.
Okay.
I don't know how, like, cringe it is. I'm going to call it stargazing.
Okay.
Because we're looking at stars.
Yeah,
the different star ratings. All right, so we've introduced a new segment last week where we both are going to read fun 1-star reviews from Goodreads and a fun 5-star review from Goodreads. Okay. We're going to start with the 1-star first because we want to end on a positive note. I'm starting to think if it kicks off, we can, like, be like, DM us your 1-star and 5-star. Yeah. Again, I don't think we've searched too far into Goodreads for these reviews, so you can probably easily see them. All right, my 1-star review. This person says, I don't get it. Why did this book make me cringe so many times? I enjoyed Hooked and thought this might be good too, seeing how everyone was raving about it. And now I'm done and I just don't get it. The idea got me really excited and it sounded promising, but after the first 30%, I was already bored. And by the 50%, I basically powered through just because. There's no chemistry between the two MC, the dialogues and description of emotions don't feel organic, and the god complex of the villain gets old very quickly. Can't recommend this one. Fair, valid. And, like, these are all valid, you know.
Mine is just, I don't think I'm a dark romance type of girl. Like, no context. Like,
just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I love
like,
it.
I'm done.
That's valid. I love it. All right, 5-star for me. I loved Hooked, but this was even better. Perfection. My knees are ashy and cracked and bruised for Tristan. The tension. All those secret times together. Like, I don't know how to describe this emoji, but, like, anyway. It's like unbearable emoji, you know?
Yeah.
I was eating all of it up. The way he was ready to kill anyone for even looking at her, like, sign me the fuck up. And I have to say, Sarah was an amazing FMC. Loved everything about her. So, in conclusion, I want Tristan to mark me with a lion tattoo using his mouth. Ooh, love that. And your 5-star review, Kenzie.
I don't know what the fuck Miss Emily McIntire puts in her books, but she has me by the throat. That's it.
Love it.
That's it.
Love it. So, yeah. Do you like the segment that we've...
Yes, I do.
All right, good. Yeah, it's fun.
Yes.
Cool. Because I don't know, I thought about it and I thought that would be such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Do you like the idea of calling it stargazing?
Yes, I like that.
Okay, cool. Because I was thinking of, like, Written in the Stars or something like that, but, like, it was so silly.
Listen.
Yeah, maybe. No. Stargazing. That's our segment. And that concludes this week's episode of Letterboxd Book Club.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you for listening.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Happy coronation.
Happy King's coronation. Good old Charles.
Yeah.
Old mate.
We hope we get a day off.
It's on a Saturday for us. I don't think it's how it works.
Can we not observe it on the Monday?
I don't know. Hey, you bring it up with Mr. Daddy Andrews.
Okay, we'll do.
Follow us on Instagram. Best place to check us out. Link in the bio of Instagram. Also on Facebook. Not Facebook. Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. No one cares about that. Spotify, YouTube, etc. Check us out next week for Throttled.
Yes.
Which is a
vroom,
Formula One. Vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
I never knew Kenzie recommended it, and I never thought she'd be a race car girl, but here we are. The more we know. I've known her pretty much most of my life.
Shout out.
But yeah, catch you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.